Hey, welcome to If You Asked Jimmy. Today,
Mm.
we have the honor of a special guest on our channel, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy this edition big time. Welcome to If You Asked Jimmy. Okay, I'm a victim of myself here. All right, sorry. I had my feedback playing. So today I'm happy to welcome our special guest today, Dr. Ebenezer ADEWUNMI Adekunle. Dr. Ebenezer holds a bachelor's degree in accounting, an MBA. He has double masters, by the way. He has an MBA and an MSc, and he also bagged a PhD in business administration. Dr. Adekunle is a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICAN. That makes him also a chartered accountant. Currently, is an investment banker, and his experience spans across commercial banking, finance, auditing, risk management, internal control, business assurance, compliance, and business development stroke marketing across various industries like audit firms, construction firms, IT companies, oil and gas, asset management, banking, and consulting. Our guest today um, is someone that I know is loaded, and we're going to benefit a lot from his wealth of experience. Dr. Adewunmi Ebenezer Adekunle, welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to be in your show.
Absolutely. I did a little citation of you because by the time we start delving into the core areas of the conversation, providing a little background to who you are will help our audience to know your um, what you can deliver, and your bias and your disciplinary focus, because you're going to help us to, unpack quite a lot of things. Our conversation is going to be solvent because we want to talk about us as many things as possible. We want to talk about career, we want to talk about family, we want to talk about profession, we want to talk about our nation and some other things like that. So today, how do I start? I saw, I can see all the paperwork, all the, I can see all those loads of things you have with you. Is it that we Nigerians, I mean, like in America, our demography is the highest when it comes to education here. We have the highest
Right.
number of PhDs, and we used to pride ourselves with that. What are you doing with all those papers? What are you doing with all those degrees? A lot of them.
Uh, it's just to be self-fulfilled and to add value to humanity, mankind in general. That's my own way of empowering myself and indirectly and directly empowering others.
Absolutely. I know that question might hit you below the belt. It's actually going to lead me to ask this question. Uh,
Okay.
you have been, you have been a professional all these years, and people like us made it to this other side. And I know that you have the opportunity to travel from time to time. You have been to America, you have been to other parts of the world, you've been to UK, from what I know about you. So, why are you still holding it together in Nigeria? Why are you not some of why are you still staying in Nigeria? You didn't Japa with all the, professional experience you have and your paper qualifications.
Yeah, thank you. For me, it's it's 50-50. And I pride myself as a typical black man, a typical African, a typical Yoruba guy from Ife, from the source. So I believe east of west, home is the best. And for me to contribute meaningfully to mankind, I believe my impact will be more felt among my people here by serving them, by providing things, value, adding value to humanity, value to their lives, directly and indirectly. The
Wow.
allure of Japa is there. There's no one that, as they say, that will put an honey in someone's mouth and will spirit. No, I love it there. I love America. I love UK. I love Western world. I love it. See, the allure is there for someone to just, I want to stay. I want, but at the end of the day, you still look at it. What will my impact be felt and appreciated here? Where or how many people can I influence? How many people can I have impact in their life that will be meaningful here and there?
Wow.
So we can do both sides.
Wow.
You
Wow.
understand?
Thank you. That is a brilliant answer because I know that you have quite a number of friends. I relate with you personally, so I know that you are an international person. And some people travel to the West for vacation, and that is the last Nigeria will see of them for a while. And you have traveled severally. You traveled by yourself. You traveled with your wife. Uh, I don't have to apologize for asking you questions that you might least expect. You know, you have been in the banking industry. If you put it together, how long would you say that you have been a banker? Apart from being an investment banker right now, your career in banking, you started your career in banking from what I see on your profile. Which year was that?
No, not it's from my service here.
Okay.
I
That,
served
that
in
was which
banks,
year?
98,
All right.
99.
So you've been in the banking
So
industry since that time.
yeah,
That leads
but
me to,
I left for a
okay,
while and
right.
I returned
Okay.
again.
There's a reason for asking that question.
Correct.
Because recently I brought a guest to this program, and he's actually an HR consultant and a management consultant. So
Okay.
we're talking about people jackpotting, we're talking about brain drain and all the rest. Because the banking industry, I know a lot of people left Nigeria, but it looks like the banking industry is one of the most impacted areas. Is that correct? And
Very correct.
what can you tell us about that? So at least we have someone, an insider right now, who can give us the gist. There was the talk of one person, one of the leaders in the IT group who moved to Canada, and then he told his boys to join him. I know it might sound casual, but there's a way. Once companies need you, they will provide visas for you. They will sponsor visas for you, work visas for those people, and a lot of our professionals who hold the IT backbone and some other infrastructures in our banking industries moved over. And a lot of things happened in the banking industry recently. You know, some scare among the people because some banking apps were not just functioning and people were panicky, right? So,
Okay.
being an insider, what would you say? Did people really leave MS, and what has been the impact on the banking system, to the best of your knowledge?
In the real sense, all sector were impacted by those Japa syndrome and is still being impacted. But in all honesty, banking sector was seriously impacted. The IT, and that's why, especially across the industry and some sector, the IT guys are the most pampered guys.
Pampered.
Yes, because they can leave any moment, anytime. So the HR, as the person you rightly refer to, said they know how the package. Sometimes their package is very okay, and you allow them to come dress down. You
Wow.
understand? Some of them
Casual.
wear dread.
Office
Some of
casual.
them wear, yes, dread now. IT guy can wear dread. He
Wow.
can, yes, it's allowed now. Unlike in the 80s, 90s, that you say you don't fit here. So
Corporate.
you just want them to feel relaxed. You understand? So they make them to be relaxed. That's number one aspect of it. And some they still have some other package that is off record that make them to okay, we are not in the same cadre with you guys and all the like. The other side is other staffs that are not even IT guys, they moved for them. Not necessarily that there is something for them to quickly move into, but most IT guys, they have something to quickly move to, or just do one or two certification and they quickly move into. But other guys, other staffs, other professionals, they still have to settle down and look at what they can do. So, but because of fund, it's very easy for an average banker to have access to loan, get loan somewhere. That's why it's very fluid. It's more
Hmm.
pronounced. Banking and telecoms, oil
Hmm.
and gas, because of it takes little or not so much effort to raise funds or to dispose one or two things and
And
make
move.
funds available to go and move and start another postgraduate degree.
Hmm.
You understand? Or some are just their first, some are doing the second or third. Some are doing their PhD straight. So those are moves. So, but it
Wow.
has impacts, serious impacts in the
Wow.
business. All
So
businesses.
awesome. I really appreciate the fact that you did not localize it to banking. You are helping us to understand that banking is heavily impacted, but the all this the sphere of manpower in Nigeria is affected because sometimes some things are just hearsay. Sometimes people don't have their facts together. Sometimes it's just from word of mouth. People don't really know what is happening. The average person who is just watching by the side might be able to say, okay, maybe this is the reason. But knowing that Nigeria is shipping, there's a lot of emigration from Nigeria to other parts of the world. The same way we have Indians in the tech domain, we know Nigerians are also leading. There was a guest that came, is it there is or there was? One of my guests who came recently, fact, our first guest on this program, who is also an IT professional, a data app architect, he said that if they take Nigerians out of the UK IT infrastructure supporting all aspects, that it's going to heavily impact, it might crash. I
Yeah,
don't
the
want to,
crisis.
yeah. So, and I also, I'm in corporate America, I see it and I know it that we might not be that dominant like that here, but we are so relevant because there's a demography, the Indians who actually dominate the space here and globally,
Yes.
but Nigerians too. We are really so, there are so many Nigerians in the IT domain. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let us also, let me ask you this way. You mentioned the fact that they are pampered and you are able to explain that they are given some latitude, maybe to have, office casuals and a lot of room. Is
Yes.
all rules don't apply to them like that, just to be able to keep them, whatever will just keep them, the organizations will do.
Yes.
I know you are still in the industry and there might be a limit to how much you can share, but safely so, is it true that the departure of some of these people, because we have IT talents in abundance in Nigeria, is it
Correct.
true that the departure of some of these, experts actually could be worse or could be responsible for some of the crisis that we are seeing? When I say crisis now, infrastructural crisis that we are seeing in the banking system. Could it be attributable to that?
It is not totally true. You understand? So because of technology is moving, so some institution and banks has to move. So technology, architecture, capacity, scaling, you have to scale. So those are all those teaching problem and issue are not that of manpower. So the that of manpower is just very, very minimal. But movement, changing software, moving architecture of the design and all the rest, and that is scaling up, expanding capacity. That's what those issues that move that you observe and notice, and other people got to notice as a result of expansion, scaling up.
Right.
You understand? Those are these. So, and it has its own natural problem. Parallel runnings, cut over. and all the rest.
Wow. Thank you for enlightening us on that. Are you saying that we also have replacement of talents that are exited? Um, and let me also add a rider to that. Even if we have the replacement in skill set, do they have commensurate experience that is able to replace at least sufficiently those who are leaving? Did you
Yeah,
get
it
my
may not be
question?
immediately. It may not be immediately because, like HR in HR, replacing any staff takes time.
Right.
You understand? So the vacuum, the gap, while one person will be handling two, three staff tasks, it will always have its effects. So sourcing of and headhunting does not is not a 1 week transaction. Sometimes 2, 3 months, and depending on the levels.
Mm,
Some notice is you have to give a 3 month notice. You understand? So and before then there will be gap.
mm.
But you know, Nigeria, we the way God created us, we can scale at any time. We can move. We can capacity very easy to build. There are guys around, but at least just to trust and the learning curve can take. The moment someone is able to move to that level, it's all uh, well and good.
Wow, thank you very much for that. Because for some of us who are here who do not know exactly what is happening perfectly over there, you have been able to shed light and to really situate things. Yes, um, at least it goes to show that Nigeria has an abundance of talents. I will take you back to the aspect where we started from. You have traveled abroad severally. I know you have been to the US and you've been to the UK. And what do you see out there that does not? How am I going to ask this question? Because you have not told me that you have any plans or for you or for your family. But you used the word lure or the attraction earlier. What doesn't? Why would you? How will I put this question now? All right, you keep going back to Nigeria. A lot of people do vacation here and they go back. You have talked
Yes.
about, home is the best and you're contributing to society. Why would you prefer? Okay, some people say they travel. Now I got trail of my thoughts back. They travel because of their children. I've seen people say that a lot. There are people who are already
Mm,
comfortable in their careers, in their businesses. Some people jackpot and sincerely so. For some others, it might just be a lame excuse. But for quite a number of people, I know they are genuine by saying that they travel so they can give their children better life. Why and how? They send the children to private nursery, primary, high school, or secondary school, private universities. And recently it became a fashion in the past 15, 20 years or thereabout, especially with the advent of private universities, that once the children finish with their private university first degrees, the parents ship them abroad for masters degree.
yes.
It became a norm. In the past, when Nigeria was okay, these people they get educated and they come back with their paper certification. And I was in corporate before in Nigeria, so I fully understand when those people come. Some of them even come back as expatriates. Some of them
Yes.
come back and they have very strong negotiating power. And usually corporations use them as bragging right, and they kind of give them some kind of pride of place. Now, some of these parents, they raise those children that way, and sometimes they just want to raise family in the West because Nigeria now became, people are talking of security. Even people living in Lagos, I do hear that a lot. Security and some other things that is not going well, and the unpredictability of our economy, the instability. So, for you, did any of this consideration come to your mind? And how is it? What's your own experience in that aspect? Some people did it for family. Why didn't you consider such a thing?
Okay, for me, I believe I have only one life to live, and I've made up my mind that I will not live someone else's life, and I will
Hmm.
not live this life to please people. or just to post or to for validation of some people or some sets that okay, because it's I know it's Japa is a fad, it's a norm, and I refuse to be pressured.
Mm.
Thank goodness, thank God for my wife. You know, these things always come from ladies and women's side also. My
Pressure.
wife is not even before I traveled. I intentionally wanted my wife to travel before me.
Wow.
Yes. But she instead, I must go with my husband. I won't go. So I want her to go ahead of me to just to use that one to as a bragging rights. You
Wow.
understand? But
Right.
she refused. She refused to travel until we travel together.
Wow.
You understand? So she's not the type that mounted pressure on me. You know, ladies, sincerely, all I've seen, it will start from subtle listening, gradually
Pre-
pestering. Let us, where we travel, at least some of my friends' wives, they started telling her, okay, you can. There was a time she said, tell me, we two can stay. I said, stay where? Not for me. I say, I have a job in Nigeria and I'm okay. We'll be coming to for a holiday and we just come around. So, but the moment she came back to Nigeria, she forgot about everything, Western world. She faced her life. So, and I know there are various reasons, very genuine reason though, but the aspect of because of my children, because of our children, for to give them good future. Correct. It's okay for those that have that reasons, and it's also valid. And it's also another thing I would not want to like to, uh, this vagaries of Nigeria, Naira, and dollar exchange rates.
Mm.
Aha. So it's a situation whereby no, if someone has moved already, you don't consider that. It's only when you are here, you send somebody there that you will. I can't be pursuing dollar with naira, so that
As a
will be valid.
parent,
But
for example,
as a
right?
parent, yes. But if everybody is there, we move together. I'm just me. For me, I look at if someone can have basic, like someone like some of us. My mother was not literate.
Mm.
You understand? At least. uh So, but if we can give those guys, those children, basic solid foundation, they can hold their own anywhere in the whole world. They compete internationally. Nigerian school here compete with foreign schools in STEMs, and they come top most times. So
Right.
that means the standard is not that falling or that descriptable, like people look at it. So for me, my own is I don't want to be put under so much pressure, and my children are not that. I'm not putting nobody. Though some people would tell me in a subtle way, guy, why don't you try and relocate? I say, I'm not. It's not.
So relocation
Me.
wasn't for you, and you didn't
I
experience that kind of because you opened us up a little bit to a very critical part. That some people who japad, it has to do with the interaction with their spouse, and
yes,
sometimes it could be subtle pressure. That takes me to the aspect of the economy. Um, because I know a lot of professional friends who were in the industry together way back, and the hustle is real. Um, and a lot of companies are leaving Nigeria in drones. Has it caused a kind of layoff? Because I know that you have transversed a lot of industries. From your profile, I see that you have worked in oil and gas, you've worked in construction, you've worked in banking, and you have worked in some other domains. All right. You've worked in IT, you've worked in asset management, you've worked in, banking. From your own observation, is it leading to um, the companies that are leaving and the fact that there are not too much fresh investment, how does that impact the employment market? I know you are not an HR professional like that,
So
but from experience, uh, are more people getting certified and not getting the jobs, or they're able to, everybody's getting a place?
it's relatives. So if some companies so say that they leave, some are not really leaving, but they are changing management.
Mm,
You understand? Some are buying off, buying over. You understand? But they change strategy. Like IBM left Africa generally. But if you see
right.
some news, they will not put other countries in Africa. They say IBM is leaving Nigeria. The way they you know how some people they just want to project negative things about Nigeria. Anything that will make Nigeria to look bad. That is what they will flash in their paper or TV station or radio station. You understand? But IBM left the whole of Africa.
Wow.
You understand?
Right.
So because they changed strategy, Guinness left, and this family, I think, what's it called? They took it over. It's not that they closed factory. And it
Okay.
was serious expansion, and they are doing well. So it's about changing management, changing ownership. Some of them, but some actually shut down because of unfriendly uh,
Business
environment.
environment.
Maybe yes, either because some that import dependent company, they can survive. They are not looking for substitution locally. Meanwhile, they will have
Does
what they
that
can substitute with,
does that
but they are not
affect?
looking inward.
Thank you, sir. Does that affect? I'm looking at the situation where the universities are churning out fresh graduates, and it doesn't look as if the people who are already in the industry are people able to hold their jobs, or companies are laying off. Because what we do here is that things are not easy in the industries, and some of them are scaling down. And fresh graduates are. What is the scenario? Help us to tie the two together.
The world economy affects everyone worldwide. You understand?
Mm,
So some companies are multinationals, while some are local based. So if some companies are import dependent so much, like the war in Ukraine and Russia.
mhm.
It affects so many companies around the whole world, so many economy. So companies that are heavily import dependent, that are always pursuing dollars, LC here and there, that are not looking inward in, uh, to substitute some. They are not research based. They are not looking how to substitute local
Local
materials
alternatives.
because it pays them because that's some way of padding their LC of money laundering.
So move their
The money,
profits
you
offshore.
understand. But when they see that this pipe is drying or is getting blocked, they start shouting because different company with different motives.
What about the operating environment? Because even Nigerian companies are struggling with, you can see the power grid has collapsed, like from what I heard several times this year, and that all that keep happening, and all this infrastructural problem, the stability of the exchange rate. Does that have any impact in the society? I mean, let me see, like the manpower. I'm sure I'm looking for a word right here. You know, I mean, how does that impact the job market and the employ? Let me say the employment situation in Nigeria.
For me, as I said, is relative. Companies, the economy environment is harsh. You understand?
Right.
But some company are making kills.
Okay.
You understand? It depends on interest
I'm looking at the
and
individuals
focus.
now.
There are
I'm
some
looking at the employment side of it.
employment has not always been since we were growing up.
Okay.
You understand?
Yep.
Even if we want to look at the employment market, we will not go to university.
Hmm.
Sincerely, since primary school, secondary school, we've been hearing there's no work. So some people will go, why are you disturbing yourself? Why are you going to university? There's no work. So It depends. When when the things are very hard, that's when some people will get to strive
Right.
and flourish. Look at that aspect alone. I've heard it since my secondary school, primary school day. There's no work, there's no market, there's no this. Some people have been hearing that song for so many years. It's not that we didn't stay, not that as I graduated, we didn't stay hustle. We hustle. Some people look at, that's why I say some things relatives. When I left university, when I finished service, I started audit firm with less than 10% of what I was earning as a copper. But some people
Wow.
cannot take it.
Mm.
You understand?
Right.
So those are set of people who say there's no work. There
Right.
is underemployment. There is disguised employment. There are various types of unemployment. But you got to take a level and move. You understand? So as we speak, people are looking for staff. Most companies are looking for staff.
Wow.
There is vacancy, but it's this skill set. And some people, they are just fixated to a particular industry.
That leads me to
It's
a
either
question. Go ahead.
this industry or not, or nothing. So
Hmm.
those side of people, you said there's no work, there's no employment. And the same set of people will leave Nigeria and go and be a cashier or storekeeper or security guy in America or London. But
Right.
to do it here is no, no.
Makes sense. Yeah, it might be really hard because when we look at the reward system in Nigeria, when we look at, for example, the remuneration, the minimum wage was put at 70,000 last year, and I think they said maybe 70 something thousand. And of course, I know a graduate will should earn more than that. And we know in Nigeria, in many other places, the public, it is the government fund, government spending that drives the economy. But in Nigeria, private sector is big, especially on only a few percentage of Nigeria. I don't think up to 20% of Nigeria is in the civil service. It is private sector driven, to the best of my knowledge. I hope I'm correct on that. And if that is the case, the operating environment for most companies is very, very difficult. For example, even if somebody is earning 200,000 in Nigeria today, by the time you consider the transportation alone, you know, wherever they may be living, whichever part of town they are living, it's a big problem. So it might not be like maybe people are not even willing to take some low end offers, but just because it will just be like staying on the spot or even needing maybe external support to fund them while they are working because it might not even cover their transportation. You remember the Lagos state government recently and some other governments. I don't know if they sustained it, but they said that people can work from home. For those who their work had allowed them to work from home, they had to meet them in between so that because they know that it's not sustainable for them to be coming to work, So couldn't those be part of the thing that is affecting, you know, people from getting some of those levels of employment that you talked about? Is that not a reality on our hands? The purchasing power of whatever they are paid is not just the figure now. They might be earning six figures, 200,000, 300,000, but 300,000 is even, not many companies are paying that really. So, and for a fresh graduate, for example, if somebody is offered 150 today, it's just like offering them 10 or 20,000 in the past. What about that?
So you are right. In that sense, purchasing power has dwindled because of inflation and because of the flotation of the naira. But at the same time, too, it depends on the skill set. It depends on your arising. You understand? So companies too, they try to come up with a lot of palliative, a lot of incentives for staffs, some staff boss, some reduce hours of work, some different type of ingenious things that will make life easy and okay for staff. So, but as I said, I still have so many organizations that are looking for staff.
Okay. I think that you have been repeating yourself. I hope people take advantage of the of information and they are not just running with the everybody's everyday, mindset because information is everything. You are there and I know, you see it all. And I know that you're also on the ground. You're on the ground. If I know what I mean, that you are really aware of your environment. That would take me completely out of the zone of the industry right now. Let's talk a little about something different. I'm putting this on right now. I'm wearing a shirt, and I can see that you're just comfortable in what you're wearing. Are you so Africanized, and why so? And not that I have any expectation. You are dressed, right? But I mean, for you to have come to the interview, in your, I mean, is it native now? Um, you tell me about that. African man.
Uh, I'm a proud African boy.
What? Are you a boy?
Proud. Yes, I'm a young boy, a young man.
Donkey. Okay, oh, young boy. Okay, yeah.
So I'm proud of my heritage. I love, I love it when it's about Africa, about Nigeria, about my environment. I don't like deriding my country in any way. I don't like talking down on my country anyhow. I'm proud, and when I see people that are proudly Nigerian, proudly African, I always love to celebrate them. You understand?
Right.
So I'm comfortable being in. You see, left for me alone. Left for me.
Mhm.
You know, I know because of the weather of the Western world. That is why they have to put on
To
socks, put
dress in
on
a
hand
certain
glove,
way.
a certain way, tie that so that the. But ordinarily, for me, I can be in a native Monday to Friday. I'm
Wow.
comfortable because because we are in different environment. But
Exactly.
if it is because you have to be
You
corporate,
don't
what is
have the
corporate?
colonial
It's not.
mentality.
I refuse. I refuse. I refuse to have it. That anything Africa, everything Nigeria is demonic, is bad, is no, 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 no. You understand? I like Western world. I liked, but it's because of the environment. You understand? I cannot be putting on ties all the time because I want to look like English.
Hmm.
I want to look English. What is English?
But as an
Yes,
investment banker, sorry, finish your thoughts, sir.
you understand? So, but because the corporate world made it that way, but in some part of Nigeria or Africa, you just have to be yourself. You
Mm.
understand?
Right.
Aha. Because it is what is your head, it is the skill that will deliver. It's not the tie, it's not the shirt.
But you're an investment banker. I guess your employers will not expect you to. I know there was a time in Nigeria, I think in the 80s, when one government came and was promoting our own thing. They started allowing people to come to the office or the civil service. I don't know if it extended to corporate. I think some corporate also allowed it that you can come in your native on Friday. Is that still the case? Is it part
Yeah,
of
yeah.
is
Even in corporate, in banking, you
what
can
of
come
bank,
in.
even banking too?
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
it's Friday is allowed,
So,
and you
which is good.
appropriately dressed, complete dress,
Okay, which is good.
natives.
So what you're saying, I see that you are so original, and you are so you own your source, you own your roots. Like one of my guests said recently, that he was born British, but he maintains his Nigerian root because anything that is disconnected to its root from his roots would definitely dry up. Some people may not understand that. They might think, oh, and this an IT guy is making the kill
Mm,
over there. He said it's not all about
mm,
money, but we cannot put
mm.
ourselves completely from our source. So,
Yes,
and I like the fact that you said relegating things that are own or just having this colonial mentality, what is English and all of those things, it doesn't take us anywhere. I'll take you back to the
anyway.
topic of Japa and Japada.
Mm.
You have been a mentor. I'm saying this because I've invited you to different programs that I've heard in the past. I used to tell people that see me on social media today that we have been doing this thing for so long,
So many years,
more than 2 decades, and
more
we
than
have
two decades,
more than two
more than two
decades.
decades.
Just that we
Yes,
didn't have this visibility of social media.
yeah,
And my
media.
my team, my people used to joke with me that if those days we started and we're adding that all this value, that time You were the one that you were with Diamond Bank that time, if I remember. I'm
Sure,
talking
sure.
of more than 17, 18 years ago. You're the
Yeah.
one that connected me with everyone from Diamond Bank that facilitated some of my seminars. I
Yes.
remember there was a friend of ours also in Mansard, that time who was the head of risk. He also,
Risk
facilitated some things.
facilitated.
We also
Yes.
had a director from the central bank as at that time,
Yes.
director
Yeah.
of human resources. So, and that's the level of, value that we're adding. And we never charged a fee for all our
We
programs.
spend our money.
We
We
spend our
spend our
money,
resources.
we spend our resources. Kudos to my friend Pastor Aquara was also, and Femi. You remember Femi with Diamond Bank those days?
Time is
You
in
know
America
Femi.
now.
And then Momiroaye, she was a director,
Yeah.
right there in Abuja, in Central Bank there. And these people will
Yeah.
come and, because all we have been doing, we we used to hold business and financial mentoring. We did
Yeah.
entrepreneur, that's for business and finance. We empowered people in that area. We brought experts. So all my life, I've not always been about myself. I've always been like, okay, this is my platform. Can we democratize it so that other people can add value? I don't, nobody
Yes.
knows it all. And
Yes.
it will be limiting to just think that I'm the one that has what everybody should listen to. People that have been coming to talk here, they are so very intelligent, more intelligent than me, and people will benefit more from their wealth of experience. When
Sure.
you shine alone, you are a lone star. When stars shine together, then you have a galaxy.
Galaxy of stars.
Galaxy would, thank you, will definitely shine more than lone stars, even though everyone has its place. So I want to use this opportunity to appreciate you from way, way, way back.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that to say this. We held business and financial mentoring then. We were part of it. We held entrepreneurs breakfast meeting that we
Entrepreneurs
were just
breakfast meeting.
empowering entrepreneurs with different kind of information.
The
We
9/11
helped
groups.
9/11. Thank you. We had 9/11. This thing. We had all our meetings, all the seminars, wealth class, financial fitness club. We did a lot of stuff. That is making me to say this because all along, people like me would not even think I will step. I never wanted to live abroad. I never. It's not. It wasn't even an option. But Nigeria happened to me, right?
Yes.
So with all those long talk, if I was in Nigeria today and I was still doing what I was doing both in corporate and in private practice and in my business, I know people will be asking me, sir, should I Japa or not Japa that? And you are part of the think tank there. You are part of the, you are part of the, how will I put it now? You're part of the experts that help us to unravel these questions. Sir, now that I've not in Nigeria to answer their questions, doctor, if somebody comes to you and say, Doctor Adekunle, should I Japa or not Japa? In Nigeria of today, I see that some of your views are radical because you are not sucked up in everybody's kind of mentality that things are not happening. You are seeing the brighter side of things. From your responses seem to me like you are seeing the glass as half full, just like what Stephen Covey put in his seven, now eight habits of effective people. So you are seeing the glass as half full from all your answers. And I cannot program you otherwise. But the hustle is real and Nigeria is really hot.
Sure.
Now, if
Sure.
people come to you and say, sir, this you see the situation, should I japa or not? What will you be saying to them?
So we people have different background. I profile them, and we have a good discussion, highly frank discussion, what they see themselves. It depends on their background, it depends on their values, and it depends on what they are doing right now in Nigeria and where they see themselves in the next 5, 10 years. What is their investment profile? What any asset here? And all the likes. And for me, if someone want to japa in any form, especially through educational routes, good. You understand? I know person in the next 1 year, 1.5 year, or 3 years to come, the person is comfortably studying and adding value to himself and also earning decent living. So the person will add value to the economy where he's going, and if he decide or she decides to come back, also it's going to be a blessing. So, but blind Japa, because that word is being like you are being chased. So someone is pursuing you. That's why you want to Japa.
Fleeing.
But you are fleeing. So you want to emigrate, you want to relocate, you are doing PR, permanent
Residency.
residency, and all the like. You have scholarship too. Why not? Why not? The more the merrier. So you have good view of both sides. Before I travel, I always give credit to whoever that is ahead of me in anything. Because I don't compete with anybody in anything across my life, from my childhood, family, friends, whatever.
But
So before I travel, I always
go ahead,
believe
sir.
that those guys, those friends, those family members, my brothers that are there, they've seen both sides. They should be able to tell us, give us some hedge. What is happening there that is not happening here that we can leverage on, that can make this. But until I get there, and I realize that these people, it's the rat race. You understand?
Uh,
They don't even have eye to look at anything in the street they are walking. They don't even see anything. Just get to the company or factory or wherever, rush back home, this and that, and say, they cannot answer my question. You understand? I believe they have edge. You've been there, you left here, you've been there, and you should know what is working there that is not working here that we can fix. Or what can we copy? That's been my question over the years before I finally traveled. What is working there that we can fix it?
do you
What can we copy? What can we copy and paste? You understand? But until I now discover that it's always like not better than Lagos that just leave your house 4 o'clock, 4:30, 5, you come back late and you will crash. I say, I can't continue this type of. I thought it's going to be very easy, life will be rosy, and I just jelenke. I can't do this. That's why I just say, I'd rather be there and let me.
just to chime in, doctor. Yes, you
Yeah.
see the hustle is real here. That's what many people don't understand.
Yes,
And you were
it's real.
asking that what is happening in the West or in the developing, I don't like this dichotomy of developed and non-developed, in these other foreign countries that's not
Right.
happening in our country. The reason why I can answer, okay, I'm not supposed to be answering here, but let me chime in here. Do you know that there are a lot of Nigerians abroad with great initiatives who have actually made that bold move despite the risk and the uncertain environment to come and replicate some of the things they find working here over there, but got frustrated by the system,
You're right.
right?
Right.
And the first thing, the fact is that the basic enablement, the enablers for whatever they are bringing, they are not there. So they provide their own infrastructures. I'm not even talking of manufacturing, intellectually, healthcare, IT. So, and a lot of people experienced serious security implications. Some people paid with their lives. You remember what happened for these Odua people before they now started getting aggressive? Before Sunday Igboho came to town,
Oh,
a
yes.
Nigerian who has lived abroad for a long time wanted to come and give back to society. He has an hotel, he established a farm. He's not going to eat that farm produce from America where he is or Canada. People will get employment because this is massive agriculture. And the guy's life was wasted. There's another person who had an hotel whose life was wasted. In fact, some people come around and they not only are they is their intention to give back to Nigeria, they are tired of here, they want to come home. And some it is just because they want to come and add value. They get kidnapped. The people here who are hustling will still have try. Are you getting me now? So I can
Yes.
tell you from my interaction with folks that given a safer and more certain environment, even without much assurances, a lot of Nigerians would japada to come and do things. But too many things are not working in their favor. I won't say working against them. Let me tell you, the security situation we find in Lagos is not the same everywhere. People still get some part of Nigeria. relatively safer than some others, but things happen everywhere. And it's not everything that happens that we get to hear in the press. So that I can just chime in that there are people who want to. You see, some doctors recently. There's a guy who was in Harvard. He came back to establish a healthcare something. People are having
Yes.
geriatrics right now. People are
Dr.
establishing
Oni.
healthcare. Yeah, Doctor
Yeah.
Oniabi.
Yeah.
You see, mother tongue will always play in Doctor Oniabi. So yeah, the hustle is real here. I'll still go back to that question. Um, some people have jackpot in your very eyes, and some people have jackpot that in the banking domain. Or I know your friends cut across several, you know, multiple industries. Have you seen people jackpot? Are you seeing people jackpotting? And when they jackpot, are they going to their own things, or do you see them coming? Some people coming back to corporate.
So only those that are highly skilled and that also uh, develop themselves further in the West that are able to fit into the system. So there's this mindset. Where will I start from? You
Hmm.
understand? Because some people you left here, they've moved in terms of level, in terms of grade, in terms of not that things are static. No matter what, things people are still doing things. But it is only those that are entrepreneurial in mindset that can easily settle for something. If you are not coming back as an expatriate, or you understand, there are some guys that know if you don't want to bring me back as an expatriate, I'm not coming. You understand? So, but those that will like to jackpot, they even though it's their desire, but which of the businesses, which of the industry will they want to, at what level?
Hmm.
You understand?
Right.
That's why you find difficult that some people say, you don't want to come back. What level? What type of, which of the
Where am
industry?
I going
Because
to
the industry,
start from?
yes, that's basic things,
That connection.
that connection. But if you are going to be an entrepreneur, you're going to be an employer, very easy to settle down.
Right.
Very easy to start something, but to come back to corporate world, it must be at the that expatriate level, as in the high skill level. Your skill is highly needed.
Right. Right. You know why I said that? You know, some
Yeah,
people they use that strategy in the past. They will just exit, go to school in the West, will get some work experience, and by the time they are coming back, they are going to another bank. Are you getting me? And they are going to pick it up from up.
sure,
They
sure,
use it to
sure.
have, yeah. So,
So there was a time in the industry itself that it was a fad that they just have to put some diaspora guys in the system.
mm,
So some organizations actually headhunt diaspora guys. Maybe they finish their master's or first degree, they bring them, they pay relocation.
they pay
And for
relocation.
school,
Then, what
yes.
about now? Is this still happening like that?
No, 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 no. That's not
Okay.
feasible. There are only very few industry that can afford that. It was a policy thing then. They just go headhunt diaspora guy and they come back.
All right.
You understand?
Okay. So, thank you very much for your brilliant answers, Dr. Adekunle. Uh, I don't know if we would be able to talk about Nigeria or Africa without talking about religion. To the best of my knowledge, I know you are a minister in your own right, where you worship. You've been a minister for many years. Um, you might not be called with the title of pastor, but you have discipled people who are today provincial pastors, zonal pastors, that they were your own Bible study students. Being a believer, in all sincerity with ourselves, what will you say? Do you see what religion is doing to our society? Because we see religion in everything we do and everywhere, especially with this rating that we are the second or most religious country in the world. And look at our society. What's your view on the impact of religion. I do not want to use any adjective, so I will not preempt you. And see where we are. Just like saying water, water everywhere, there is none to drink. We are not seeing righteousness in the land. Churches are building cathedrals, they are building domes, they are building multi-mile or kilometer auditoriums. And we see the way the society is, even our values and everything is totally religionized. What's your perspective on this?
Mm. Saying that religion is the opium of the people. So for me, it is as a dicey thing. People are religious, but they are not serving God.
Hmm,
People are religious. People are involved in religious activities. They
hmm,
don't have connection with God.
hmm,
And you see in their dealings in the secular world, in their dealings in the environments, know that these people are just religious. So the impacts of religious activities has not really helped the system. People, the people are fake. We have so many fake people.
hmm,
We have so many deceitful people
hmm,
putting on the toga of religion, of title in a church or in a mosque.
hmm,
But they know that the moment say, I'm a son of God, I'm a pastor, I'm an afar, you lower your guard. And that's how they hit you.
hmm. Penetrates.
So, and it has not really uh, helped the system as such. But it depends on perspective, it depends on how you are looking at it. At the same time, too, we believe prayer is the master key. Prayer is the answer to things. And as people say, it is religion. I mean, it's prayer, not even religion. Prayer that is sustaining our economy, our life, and all this. So, because this thing is relationship, but it's very easy. I've seen it across the whole world. It's very easy for people to disciple people or to have followership, irrespective of whatever you say you do. When I move around, I see some funny things, and you see people there,
Hmm.
people following. But it's very easy to, I don't know, because maybe because of the easy way of life or communal activities, because you always get something from auntie, uncle, cousin, or to sort yourself. Some people call it black tax.
Black tax.
You understand? So
Entitlement
entitlement. So
mentality.
it's very easy to not to be frank and be serious and know that this person is deceiving us or deceiving me or some. It's religion, both sides or the three angles have taken different dimension. So I always try to just jump and pass in that balance. So
You tried, because I did not tell you, I did not preempt, I didn't tell you, I didn't give you an idea that that could come. Because see, um, I will not, I will keep the question to myself. Because the moment we realize, because this platform is actually for communication as well. I love the part
mm,
that you said prayer is the master key. Everybody knows that there are powers and influences that are beyond our natural realm. Man is not just this it's not just this container called flesh. But the truth
mm,
is that I mean, we work in corporate here. We don't pray, we don't have any fellowship, we don't do anything. But you will see the values, the character, the attitude of the people, their sincerity, their openness. It's far more that we say, that we are religious. And probably, if we look at it very well, we want to really see the overall effect, whether religion has done more harm to us than good. And I don't want to go too much deep into religion, because when we're growing up, we will we will eat earlier meat, all those we eat with we are just a community. The Muslim will come, they will do Christmas with us. We will do their Idul Kabir, Idul Fitri with them. Nobody was suspecting anybody. There was no scare of, there was no polarization. As kids, we eat together. You understand? We play together, we flock together. See how religion is polarizing today, even among Christians, denominational differences alone. I am this, I belong to Apollo, you belong to Paul, I'm winners, you are MFM, you are redeemed. And if you are baptized in the RCCG, you cannot even be an usher in winners. Even if you have spent 50 years and you are the most righteous person, you still have to go through the church process and look at the society, all the corruption, all the stealing, all the whatever, whatever social evils we are seeing is either by one John. Oh no, I don't want to use John. One John is very close to me. It's one is by one Matthias or one Karim, Karibu somewhere. That is either a Christian or a Muslim, or one Ifademi. All these people have a form of religion, and we are so deep in it that some of us even have rank in these religions. But the evil in our hands can be so, it's totally unimaginable. And I think you have addressed that. Do you want to chip in anything extra? Because we can't see it. Has it not done more harm in the way we practice and over religionize and over spiritualize? Why people should be thinking instead of critical thinking that makes the West different from us. Everything is religion. We need prayer to fix our exchange rate. It's only God that can help us to fix our economy. It's only, what is your view if you can still chip in a little in that aspect? We are not doing much.
So we overburden God with so many things.
Overburdening God.
Yes. So God has given us the brain, and God will not do for us what He has given us the capacity to handle by ourselves. So, but because of laziness, because of complacency, we decided to not to do, not to scratch the the capacity, the level of things that God has deposited in us. We decided not to use it. We decided to resort to complacency in some sorts. So, and that's why we are where we are. So it is very easy to tell some people that it is because you are not doing this. That's why this thing is happening to you.
Fam-
Seers,
or family cause.
visioners, all these family calls, is your uncle, is your mommy, is your daddy. So, and ordinarily, you see some street guys that want to obtain, they call it OBT. So, ordinarily, because they know people fall easily, they just stop you by the roadside. Especially ladies. Ladies are the women, they are the ones that fall prey to this sort of things. And in churches and mosques, they are the most populous in anywhere
Yeah.
because they believe they are the one that have problem. Either the problem of husband or problem of daughter or son or uncle or auntie, they want to pray. So they are very easy prey. So, and they have to convince their husband or children or so. The one guy just say, guys, madam, you just get something, and they quickly start forgetting, and they fall prey to those just con guy on the road. Talk less of someone that now mounts a
Pulpit.
pulpit or sitting on a
And said
mat
in
and now,
Jesus' name. The Holy Spirit
uh,
told me.
aha. So that just is what it is the end of it all when the last day that God will separate the sheep from the goats.
Right. Thank you very
So
much, Doctor.
that just
Let's
it.
talk. Thank you, sir. Let's talk about social media here. Uh,
Okay.
what will you say has been the impact and the influence of social media in our community today and in today's generation? Um, at least we all have a phone in our hands and we see how it is going. Um, what will be your take on that? We grew up, you know, without this social media thing. What will you say is social media, especially the use of social media in this generation, especially in our own society over there and globally? What's your perception of it?
So I look at it as when we were growing up, there wasn't such immense presence or activities in the social media sphere. So, so the Gen Z and the like, they were born into this space. Unlike our generation, I said, we learn how to handle it over the years and start developing and start learning more and increasing the skill. But this Gen Z and the rest, they were born a 2 year, 3 year old kid can navigate a tab and phone efficiently. What the daddy cannot access,
Mhm.
the kid will access it because we were learning. But they didn't learn, they just naturally, because they see, they grow with it. We were, so, and the influence uh, is pervasive everywhere, both negative and the positive. The positive aspect is how we can talk now positively, using it positively. But negative aspect is using it to scam others, using it to malign others, using it to bully others,
Blackmail.
using it, yes, to blackmail others. And at the higher level or the highest level of country spying on each other and attack, cyber attack, country against country. That is the highest level of it.
So it is both
It's,
ways.
an,
It
it's
has
all
positive and
sides.
negative way impact. As a parent of Gen Z, I'm taking that question from the social media side to the Gen Z side. Oh, will I say your children, any of your children Gen Zs? I think so. You have a graduate, you have a child also studying abroad. What has your parenting experience been, with these folks? Because, I mean, you have you have a child studying in America currently. You have a child who just left university, not too long ago, and a professional. And you have multiple degrees. You have bachelor's, M.Sc, MBA. By the time you went for your M.Sc, then I think you and your wife, I was joking with you, both of you were in school with M.Sc, your children were in school, you didn't, you're not satisfied, you did your MBA way back at IFE. Now, by the time I had, you already had a PhD or 6 years program somewhere. So, sorry, I mean, I don't know how long it took, but I know you are working, so it could have taken a while. You like books so much, and you're a parent of of Gen How has it been parenting and studying, being in school at the same time with your children until you bagged your PhD recently? Two things there: parenting and schooling with your children.
So I always say parenting is intentional.
Say that again, sir.
The- I always say parenting is intentional.
Wow.
So if because we have a lot of accidental parents, accidental mother,
Accidental
emergency
parent.
father, yes, those that did not plan to be parents. I
Hmm.
was telling my daughter like last week or there about that. Okay, there was something that happened. Okay, some of the kids that came to plug the apples in my compound, that. So, so my wife brought one of the car keys to just to repark the car. Unfortunately, she dropped it on the trunk of the car, and one of the kids just
Picked it.
uh, picked it and damaged the key.
Oh.
And I said, so you understand? I said, since my two children, they have never been destructive. It's only when other kids come to my house that they destroy things.
Hmm.
My daughter was not asking me, Daddy, did we? I said, it's not in your blood. It's not in your DNA because I was never destructive when I was growing up. I love
Hmm.
my mom. I lost my dad when I was 12 years. I was in primary school. So I don't want to cause
Oh,
my mom any harm.
sorry about that.
So, so even while we were at school, when they were doing a looter, destroying cars, I never destroy anybody's car, I never destroy anybody because I know I'm going to buy a car. Someone will
Hmm.
not destroy my car. Will I be looking at? Someone will not come to my. Remember the Okeagbo,
Exactly.
and
All
that
those
stuff.
we went to university together, so all those strikes and all those
You
riots.
understand?
Yeah.
Destructive thing. I never destroy anybody because I'm going to buy a car. I'm going to build houses. How will I be looking when someone is destroying my property? So it was intentional. He said, "Because I said, they asked me, Daddy, did you ever broke anything?" I said, no, no, no. He said, why would you not do that? From school, you get home, you go to your mom's shop, and you are back at home. Why will you not have time to destroy anything? Did you say, have you ever caught the upholstery? I said, no, you never. I said, no, it wasn't in your DNA.
So you are
It's not in
saying
my.
some parents are absentee or they don't have the values or they are not intentional parents and it reflects on
So,
their children.
and as I said, those parts of it has effect. Even while I was away from my family for like 6, 7 years, out of where my family resides, I make it a point of duty. I must come home every weekend to impart because I miss so much of my dad because he died when I was 12 years.
Mm.
So I have type of family when I was growing up. I have at least picture of the type of family I want to raise, how God helping me unwillingly, how I want my home to look like.
Right.
So to parent, it must be intentional.
Mm.
It it must be deliberate.
Mm.
So that is just it.
Right. Let me chide you a little bit in 30 seconds. How was it like when all of you were in school? You know, daddy, mommy, you're paying in dollars here in America. You are still we're paying in private university in Nigeria.
So that is the luxury of staying back. You
Hmm.
understand? I very rare. I don't know. You may correct me, or you are there to see father, mother, and the kids going to school together. That would be killing.
That's what I did. I just finished my MBA, you know, not too long ago. And anyway, continue what you're saying. And my children were in school. I think I have a graduate who graduated over 2 years ago, and my younger child, she'll be graduating in a couple of weeks right now. And so I did somewhere along the line. That's why I was
So
asking you that question.
I know that it's very rare. It takes time. You understand? So it's about being intentional. And
Okay,
then when I went back to school with my wife, I'll just look at it and say, "Guy, it's been over 10 years that you've added anything to your degree or certification.
try.
I was just engrossed in work. After my B.sc, MBA, ACA, nothing for complete 10 years. Just work, work, work." I said,
Let,
no,
let me
that's
ask you
that.
this because we are running out of time. Let me ask you this, and I still want to chip in one question. We have just 3 minutes remaining, and I need to sign out. Your apart from that self-actualization, did your you have been a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants for many years, decades now. So,
Yeah.
did your additional qualification did it help you in the workplace? Did it add to your bottom line? Apart from the experience and the skill you are bringing, the new knowledge.
It, it, it's global. You understand? It brings a lot of uh, acknowledgement, recognition. You understand? I was
Okay.
celebrated in my organization. I was celebrated.
Wow, wow. Does it give
You
you
understand?
other leverages or anything, any leverage, or it's just acknowledgements?
It's enough for me.
All right.
In some other organization, you will not get even to be mentioned.
You'll not be noticed. Yeah.
In my organization handle, social handle, you see there
Wow, wow.
officially. You understand? I was
That must have
celebrated
been
with my colleague, three of us at almost about the same time.
wow.
So we were celebrated.
That must have been very encouraging. We are going
Uh,
to have a hard stop in the next minute. What would be your last word to our viewers before you drop off today? We have just 1 more minute.
so we encourage everyone not to give up, keep pushing, keep trying. Rome was not built in a day. And we should continue to believe with God all things are possible.
Any hope for Nigeria?
There are millions of hope.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. So much
Thank you
appreciate
for
you
having me.
today for coming on our program, Dr. Ebenezer Adekunle, PhD, FCA. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us. And we hope that when we invite you next time, you will come and you will oblige us to come and add value to our community.
Sure. Thank you for having me. Been a pleasure.
Thank you, sir. So this is where we round off people on this edition of If You Asked Jimmy interviews. Special thanks to our guest today, Dr. Ebenezer Adekunle, who has been our guest today and sharing a lot of useful information with us and opening our paradigm to a lot of things going on globally. We thank you one more time, sir. And thank you, OMS Consulting, for being our back end support and making sure that we get everything right in this live interview. For anything media, new media, social media, online media, anything media and communications, please, you can reach out to OMS Consulting. They will flash their number on the line. I have my regular daytime job and I'm extremely busy in my corporate career, but this is OMS that supports me behind the scene. Thank you, OMS, and thank you everyone for watching. See you on the next one. Till we meet again. Bye. Thank you, Doctor. Bye, sir.